myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay.
Alright, so I got the dual gate shifter here. You can see we got a nice shift plate for it. The shifter is currently in there. We had to take the cable off of it to make sure we can get all this mocked up. But we're having a little bit of clearance issues inside of here with the mount, so we're going to clearance that out so that way this fits all nice in there. But this was already cut out for the dual gate that's going to go in here. So here we go. Alright, so here's our shift linkage. We had to modify this front bracket a ton. This is supposed to be the one for the Cutlass. I'm not saying that it is. I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm saying that this bracket was causing our console to be way off the floor. Almost 1.5 inches off the floor. So we've modified this bracket so that way we can set this down lower. It's temporarily in there. We got 2 Clecos kind of holding it in right now. Kind of holds it tight enough so we can mock it in, make sure it's right before we drill the holes out bigger and get the screws set in there how they're supposed to be. But this has currently been the giant pain that has been going on this vehicle. So like I said, it's just purely to raise this bracket up on the housing. Normally this hangs down almost 1/2 inch, but we're hoping that by raising this up, that'll help keep the console down in the position it needs to on the floor. Alright everybody, as a quick update, as you can see there are interior pieces, actually the rear seats over here, door panels are in here, there's passenger seat, carpet, package tray, all of that is in my truck still. And why is it in my truck? Basically because it's the easiest way to spot to put it. Keeps it safe and out of the way. The less time you mess with it, the less chance you have of ruining it. Now the issue is that it's been raining lately, and that truck has to really go outside for me to be able to work in my shop. And the problem to that is I don't want any of that to get wet. So as some of the area has been flooding due to some rain, I haven't been able to work. So I've been doing some other little things, some side projects. If you guys pay attention to Instagram and Facebook, you will see that I have some powder coating that I've been doing, little things like that to take up the time. But back to the 442. I have at least a battery in it right now. We have power. Not everything's working. It's an original wiring harness in here, so I have a light that's down there and that's not working. Got a tail light that's not wanting to turn on for me. Just a lot of little things and just figuring it out. As you take these cars apart and put them back together decades later, you got to figure out what's missing and what's not and why we have a problem. So could it be just the plug, the wire itself is broken, what's wrong with it, and why do we have those kind of failures? So right now that's what we're doing. As you can see in here, we have a little bit of a mess. I didn't clean it up last time I was working on it. But interior's in. I have the radio in, the multiplexer, which is basically adds stereo for the rear speakers. For this car, we actually are not putting a front speaker in. We're putting 2 speakers in the rear, and then the bias will be for left and right on the rear speakers in the package tray. So there's a dummy speaker in the front, and actually we have a hidden antenna that's going there. That shifter is a giant pain to get to work right. That is the dual gate shifter, and the bracketry for it would not line up whatsoever for what we needed it to do for the center console. But I have that remedied now, have that fixed, it's bolted in and functioning, but I have a week's worth of work just getting that shifter to work the way it should. And there's probably going to be some more time doing it too. The speaker wires are actually ran through the loom, factory loom that goes underneath the driver's seat to the back. For the brake lights and everything else, we have our rear seats in. We have a set of harness, or seatbelt harnesses that are going to go in that are the 3-point style harness and not the multi-point front harnesses. And yeah, we just had a lot going on lately, but hopefully we'll be able to get this going here pretty soon. Maybe get the motor to turn over. It hasn't turned over in a decade, so we'll see how that's going to work. But we'll get that turned over and see if we can build some oil pressure and everything before we try to start that thing. But we'll see what's going on there. So anyway, basically we're probably going to go to a montage and or whatever you want to call it, time lapse